This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen, kicking off the holiday season. That's what we decided, that we'd officially kick off the holiday season today because it's, the 16th?
Yep. Yes. So what are we now, like?
9 days of Christmas?
On the 9th.
The 9 days of Christmas.
Look at me. I'd go with the 9th day.
Yeah, so you guys been watching the news at all?
Yeah, everybody, the latest report that I've seen is they're asking if they can shoot down any drones they see.
Right, yeah.
If you're a drone enthusiast or hobbyist, watch out.
Yeah, not a great week for you.
So where are these really? I just love the fact the United States of America, we don't know where they're from. You lying sacks of crap.
That's what Tim and I were talking about before. That's what we were talking about before the show, because what was it, last year or 2 years ago, they had that weather balloon from China that drifted just a smidge too close off the coast of New Jersey. It's like, national emergency, lockdown, security, blah, blah, blah. And now it's like, we don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I've never seen these before. A drone, you say? What's that? What's a drone?
Well, I tell you, a number of things are going to change. I have to ask you guys a question. You as a young man, and Tevin, you as a young black man.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't understand some people's thinking, how they think what they're doing is a good idea. Because now, of course, DEI is blowing up in their faces, which I suppose it should. I never spent a lot of time reading about DEI. Was it a pretty extreme political stance to be taking?
I think it morphed into a pretty extreme.
Oh, is that what happened?
Somehow, but I want to say it just started out as like, hey, don't not hire somebody because it's a minority.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's where it should have stayed.
Right.
But we can't do that as human beings. It's got to go way over the top. So now I get 8 companies just announced, I guess last night or this morning, that they're not going to follow DEI rules anymore in hiring people because it's ridiculous. And here's what I don't understand. If you hire someone not because of their qualifications, but because of their skin color, okay, if you won't hire them, let's say, they have all the qualifications in the world and you won't hire them because of their skin color. What's the difference if they don't have the qualifications and the only reason you're hiring them is because of their skin color? It's still racist.
Yeah, and if you have, I think it's more alarming if you have one minority in your company than no minorities in your company. Like, at least, like, if there's no minorities, like, okay, whatever. Like, but if there's just one, you're like, we hired the one token. Nobody wants to be the one token black guy sitting in the room that everybody looks at during the month of February.
Thank God I'm not in the room with you. Got to put up with all that stuff. AJ's got to put up with you looking down upon him because he's the only white guy in there with you. Typical.
Yeah.
I feel like Tevin and I have a pretty good repertoire together. We're fine.
You're okay? He'll be good to go?
Yeah, he can mute me, so I don't really say too many negative things about it.
Do you think it will ever happen where we truly ever will meet in the middle on this skin color, this race thing and all that? Is that ever going to happen?
Probably not. We might get close, but probably not like completely.
Because you can't make everybody happy. That's the problem with it. We could get this done, but we can't make everybody happy because we all want different things. And it's blowing up in our faces right now. And I just, these extreme policies, would you shut up?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people's prejudices are more deep rooted than just, surface level, whatever. If it does get closer, it's going to be like hundreds of years because it takes like one generation and then another, and then it eventually might come closer together, and then fingers crossed that at a certain point sooner than later, it's if you are like that prejudiced or that racist about something, you're called out and like shamed publicly for it, and it's not as normalized as I think it can be at times in our current state.
But they should be. I say that 100%. I mean, you guys know that I've been through a lot of crap because I won't sit and kiss ass. A lot of Minnesotans, it's very, very big deal to kiss ass. They love that for some reason. And I'm not saying all Minnesotans. Obviously my best friends are all Minnesotans because I grew up in Minnesota. But I'm getting really, really tired of pounding someone into the ground just because they succeeded without your help. And there are people in Minnesota that do that. If I didn't help you get to where you are, I have no respect for where you are. It's all about me. It's what I do, not what you do. It's what I do that matters. Are we ever going to get over that?
I don't know. Probably not either. There's a lot. These people are very selfish. I feel like
they really are.
Not just here, just in general. Like,
oh yeah, no question about that. But I just, we'll keep moving forward, and I guess we'll do what we do. And I don't know. I'll try not to just weep myself to sleep every night. The world's really doing great. It's really coming on strong. All right, making a move here. We talked about some of the best Christmas movies out there last week.
Yeah.
And now, of course, the worst Christmas movies of all time list has been released. You knew that was going to happen.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. As much as I love to talk about the good ones, it's so much more fun to talk about the bad ones.
I would have to agree. Now, if you've seen these, let me know.
Okay.
Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July. Why would you even release that?
I've
never even heard of it.
Is that one of those? What is it? Franken Bass or whatever the stop motion
Rankin
one?
Bass.
Rankin Bass. Yeah, I've never liked those. I know that's maybe an unpopular opinion because they're very classic, like Christmas culture and everything like that. But it's just, I don't know. To me, as a kid, it always was creepy. I don't know about you guys.
Okay, Tevin, look at the look on AJ's face when I do this. Oh, Davy. God, I hated that when I was. Oh, Davy. Oh, God. You remember, what was that called? David. Oh, my God. I even made my own skin crawl, which is hard to do, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, number 19, Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas Ever. Never heard of that one either.
Nope.
Oh, here's one. Santa's Sleigh, only it's SLAY. Get it? Sleigh?
It's just like a slayer slasher, like he's gonna kill you, or is it
he's a murderer? Yeah,
slay all day. My outfit snaps. Yeah,
that's exactly it. Number 17, I'll Be Home for Christmas, but it's not the Bing Crosby one. It's the 1998 one. I've never even heard of any of these movies.
No, I feel like the more popular bad ones will maybe be in like the top 10.
Yeah.
The Nutcracker in 3D. Well, Catherine's already in 3D, so she busts my nuts all the time. Get it?
Yeah, she's not in the room, so that's why you can.
Yeah.
Tough guy. Tough. She can be hard on me. You guys do know that, right?
I'm sure it's out of love.
Yes.
Yes, it is. It's out of love, no question.
If she's listening, you deserved it if she was hard on you.
Okay, here. Oh.
Good save.
Okay. Come on over here. I got a Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas for you. Number 15, Christmas Evil. Never heard of Christmas Evil. 1980. Saving Christmas. I've heard of that, but I don't remember what it was. What was Saving Christmas?
What year is that from?
2014.
Saving Christmas.
I don't know. That sounds familiar. But there's also Surviving Christmas just above it, so maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I have no idea.
It looks terrible.
It does. This is not. It's got Kirk Cameron on the cover, and he's like, I don't know. It looks like he's literally saving the spirit of Christmas or something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Okay.
Kirk's sister's annual Christmas party is about to be ruined by Christian, his brother-in-law, and Kirk realizes he has to show Christian how important Christ is to the holiday season.
Yeah, I was gonna say the tagline is "Help Kirk put Christ back in Christmas."
Doesn't Kirk mean church in Scottish?
Sure.
So you got somebody from a church, the Kirk, coming to save Jesus. So that's good.
It's got a 1.3 out of 10 on IMDb.
Oh, God. Oh.
So I think that tells you all you need to know.
That's pretty bad, man. Okay, we got Surviving Christmas, we got Deck the Halls, and we got Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. Boy, I bet you that's a good one. So we get to the top 10. Number 10, Jack Frost 2, Revenge of the Mutant Killer Snowman. I've never heard of any of these movies even.
So Jack Frost 1 was a nice story about a kid that loses his dad who comes back as a snowman. Jack Frost 2, he's killing mutant aliens.
Mutant Killer Snowman. That's who he is.
Okay.
Number 9, A Christmas Story 2. I don't know that one. That Christmas Story is good. Enough.
Christmas Story 2 was a reboot that they did a year or two ago. It was good nostalgia, but it's not a good movie.
Okay. Number 8 is Santa Claus, CLAWS. Get it?
Half of these are just bad horror movies, I feel like.
Yeah, well, number 7, what the hell is this one? Number 7 is Santa with muscles. What?
I feel like we're just taking random words and attaching like Christmas or Santa Claus to the front of their back.
Santa with muscles. Somebody from Minneapolis just called me at 651, but I don't know who it is. Should I answer that or not? Oh, no. They can leave a message.
Yeah, it's Senator voice.
Okay. Santa with muscles. I don't really understand that one either, but,
I want to look that up.
Yes. Number 6 is Jingle All the Way. Number 2, your top 5 worst Christmas movies of all time. A Karate Christmas Miracle. Still have never heard of it.
Please tell me that's like a Karate Kid spinoff.
It's what it must be, I would think.
Wax on.
Number 4, The Last Ounce of Courage.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Number 3, Santa Claus from 1959. That could be a lot of things, I guess.
That one doesn't give away too much about like the plot.
You got to tune in to find out.
Number 2 is Elves, Elves, from 1989.
Okay.
But number 1, and I actually have seen this movie when it came out in 1987. I saw it. I was only 25 years old, so I have an excuse. Wait a minute, I'm lying. I was 35 years old. Never mind. Silent Night, Deadly Night, Part 2. Well, maybe I didn't see Part 2. I think I saw Part 1. So that's a problem. I've not seen any of the 20 movies that are on here.
I like that they had to make a Part 2 for that one.
Yeah.
Yes, Part 2, yes. Exactly.
Not a death in the first one.
It's
the only
true.
one that I think I had heard of is Deck the Halls, if that's the 2006, Matthew Broderick, Danny DeVito one. But even then, that feels very out of place for the rest of this list.
Yeah. And they didn't do like the, hey, we're just going to take, the list of the 50 most popular Christmas movies and then take the worst of those to create controversy and discussion. They just said, actually, no, these are factually the worst of all time. You've probably never heard of them. They're all probably on Tubi.
Right.
These movies sound dreadful.
Also, I looked up Santa with muscles. Here's the description. It's Christmas time, and an evil multimillionaire accidentally hits his head, only to be convinced by a fiendish elf that he is in fact Santa Claus.
Oh, Jesus. That sounds terrible.
I actually might have to watch this. Hulk Hogan is appears to be the main character, is the Santa with muscles.
Hulk Hogan plays Blake, who I'm not sure. Mila Kunis is in this.
Yeah,
there you go.
Might get a watch.
I'll be watching Silent Night, Milky Night, or whatever the hell it was. I forgot something.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Right.
Let me tell you, I'm dangerous, brother.
What you gonna do when Claus-a-mania comes down your chimney, brother?
Oh, God. I used to love watching that stuff. I got to be very honest with you. When I was a kid, we would all get together to be the dog, and all of us get together and watch that stuff. It was just magnificent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ed Begley Jr.'s in this too.
Yeah.
I love Ed Begley Jr.
Have you seen, Tom, the Vince McMahon documentary that's on Netflix?
I've seen the first episode of it. How many episodes are there?
I can't remember exactly how many, but they kind of tells the story of the early days of just wrestling in general and how Vince McMahon kind of navigated that whole scene. And so you get that kind of that combination of the classic wrestlers that it transitions throughout more of his personal life. But yeah, it's a really good watch. I'm not a big wrestling fan, and I absolutely
seen that as a big wrestling fan. He would have for sure.
Who is that?
Phil.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know he's a massive wrestling guy.
Is he really?
Yeah, definitely.
Was he a wrestler?
He's probably seen Santa with muscles 17 times.
Probably true.
His favorite movie.
Yeah.
Probably true. We could find out. We could take a break and then find out.
I like it.
All right, we'll be right back right after this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk a little Josh Arnold, my pal Josh Arnold. A message to listeners. I said a message to listeners. You heard what I said on the Tom Barnard Show. Got an announcement. I need just 5 of you listening to do me and yourselves a favor. I need you to take advantage of a free offer. Seriously, it's free. I need you to call Josh Arnold, 952-925-5608. Tell him that Tommy sent you. Josh will meet with you for free and give you advice on investing, handling, and making money. As each day goes by, this becomes more and more important because, my God, the money grab out there right now is unbelievable. So you need somebody watching your dough for you, man. He'll answer all your questions about retirement, your 401k, your IRA, retirement savings, and it is free. Let me repeat that, so you got nothing to lose. So here's the deal. All you got to do is call 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Just ask for Josh, Mr. Money Talk. Tell him that Tom sent you. And then let me know how it all worked out for you. After your meeting with Josh, I would love to hear. You could just send an email or just call in and leave a message, whatever. But I want to know how it went because not only is Josh an advertiser, he's a good friend of mine. So I want everyone becomes a winner here. That's what we're talking about. Thank you.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
Let's take a second to talk about my bank. That'd be North American Banking Company. Mr. Bilski running the show over there. Look, I just called him Mr. Bilski. That made me really uncomfortable. Anyway, look, there's no shortage of banking options in the Twin Cities. If you're tired of being just a number to your big national bank, be sure to talk to my friends at North American Banking Company. They offer the same online and mobile banking options as other banks, but with the unparalleled service of a community bank. I also like being able to go out to any of their 6 Twin Cities locations. Roseville, 50th and France is the one I like to go to. I've known those people there for a long time. Well, Roseville I go to because that's where Bilski is, that too. Hastings, Woodbury, Shoreview, Maple Grove. So if you're looking for a better banking experience, why not bank with my friends? And again, I don't call people my friends if they're not. North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
I hear this is the Tom Barnard Podcast. I look up expecting to see Phil, and there's this beautiful blonde woman on the screen smiling at me. Who was that?
Some new B-roll there, it looks like. Yeah,
a little B-roll, huh?
Bilski is getting on top of his game, sending some B-roll over.
Yeah, what the hell is that, Bilski?
Stepping up his YouTube game.
I guess so. I guess that's what the deal is. There's no question about it. I did see one thing that your Lions lost yesterday, huh?
How about that? Yeah, the Lions leaving the door open for the Vikings 2 losses, Lions 2 losses, and the Eagles who beat the Steelers have 2 losses. So you got, if the Vikings win tonight, you'll have a 3-way tie, at least in terms of record,
right,
for the number 1 seed. And then tiebreakers are still, but the Vikings control their own destiny, as they say in sports. If they win out, including a win over the Lions in Week 18, if they win 4 more games in a row here, they would be the number 1 seed in the NFC playoff bracket, first round bye, division champions, home games all throughout the playoffs.
Okay, did you do that just because it's Christmas and you're trying to ruin my holiday? Is that why you said what you said?
I just jinxed everything by setting it up that way.
Yes, you really did, because I was called, and it might have happened at the Hubbard. I'm not saying it did, but it might have. I was called in by the general manager, and he said to me, Tom, you do understand that we all control our own destiny, so therefore you're fired.
Oh, wow.
I get fired for controlling my own destiny.
And really, he controlled your destiny in that moment, is what it sounds like.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Could you imagine me, though, as a teenage boy, 18 years old, having an attitude? I can't
not
see
at
that
all whatsoever.
Oh,
No.
no, never happened.
Puberty and testosterone pumping through your veins. Not kissing anybody's ass.
I was like that guy. He was a really, really good guy. He was actually... Well, I can't identify who it is because we used to go out to advertiser dinners, which, by the way, I thanked him for that too, because I learned how to sell radio or records or any of that stuff. It really helped me out a lot later in life, getting to know what sales is really all about.
Yeah.
So it was a very nice thing for him to do. But I do remember once we went out and I got a phone call. This is before cell phones. So I got a phone call was at Charlie's Cafe Exceptional. You guys are too young to remember that place. No longer there. Wonderful, wonderful steak place. Just beautiful. So I get up, I go, I answer the call. I come back, and this very same guy is asleep in his food.
Wow.
Whoops, face down in the chow, baby. I'm like, okay, boy, look at the time.
Too many old fashions, or what was the cause?
I'm thinking it might have been too many old fashions. You might be right.
Yeah.
What the hell? We all have fun, don't we?
When you got the control your own destiny firing there, were you also told this is the best thing that's ever happened? This is the first day of the rest of your life.
Yep. It's the best thing I do for you, Tom. It's a wake-up call. I got heard about a wake-up call a lot in my career. I really did. All of it stemmed from the fact that I cannot. It's not that even just that I will not. I cannot kiss ass to try to climb the ladder. I just can't do it. I never tried because I can't even think about trying that.
What was your best wake-up call, though? Like, what was your, you know what? I did need that wake-up call in retrospect, and it vaulted me to a new level.
I think probably, there's a few levels there. Once I left radio to go work for Capitol Records, that was the real big one, because I understood these people were from New York, Philadelphia, bigger East Coast towns. And even though North Minneapolis is not an East Coast town, it tends to lean that way more than other parts of Minnesota. It's much more urban, that kind of deal. No, I just think just watching, I was very lucky in the fact that I got to work with a lot of really talented people. So just watching what they were doing was really, really great. It was wonderful.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say, I've never needed a wake-up call. I have had my bleep together for 50 consecutive years.
Only 50?
60, 70.
85
90
years.
consecutive years. Charlie Chaplin gave me my wake-up call back in the 1920s.
Right.
Yeah.
Back in the days. So you guys have had wake-up calls, I would imagine.
Oh, man. So
knock
on wood. Knock on wood. I've never been laid off in this industry, but I have definitely been brought into principal's office with ratings wake-up calls or whatever it may be. Yeah, 100%.
But you know what's so funny about that is when you get new management in, you're just kicking everybody's ass in sight. You get new management in, and all of a sudden over a year and a half, 2-year period, your ratings have slipped a couple of points. But it's not their fault. It's your fault. I just love that. You came in, changed everything, screwed everything up, but it's somehow my fault.
That's the thing. Like, we see this in sports all the time too, is like when you take it could be anything really, but someone takes a new job in an influential managerial position. General managers in sports, could be in media, whatever. And your first instinct is to put your fingerprints on it, right? Because if I do nothing, then I'm not influencing my blueprint or my vision, and I won't get credit for whatever successes there are, right? So people come in and their instinct is, oh, I need to change something.
Right. Oh God, yes.
Even if you're taking over something that's successful or working.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and that's like, because you bring up the sports. Like, I remember my dad used to say that with was it John Gruden when he won the Super Bowl after they fired Tony Dungy, and everybody would give John Gruden all the credit, and everybody was like, well, yeah, but Tony Dungy, that was his Tampa Bay Bucks team that he put together and ended up getting fired. So yeah, people, I feel like since then, at least from my perspective, now, yeah, like you're saying, they want to, I got to change everything because I don't want the last guy to get the credit for what I'm accomplishing.
Yep. Yeah.
Dungy was a great guy too, or is a great guy. I only said was because I haven't seen him in a few years, but really good guy, no question about it. But so I did watch a little football last night, not a lot. I watched just enough football to see that we can take over part of the number one spot by winning tonight. I also saw that the game will probably be over at about 11:30, quarter to 12.
It's gonna be a late one. There's actually 2 Monday night football games tonight.
Yeah,
you got Falcons and Raiders in a clash, and then Vikings and Bears. So I'm guessing that we've got some, because Chicago fans probably booked this trip months in advance. So you might see just a bunch of depressed, drunken Bears fans wandering around the Twin Cities on this Monday.
Yeah, there were
your eyes peeled.
There were quite a few wandering downtown yesterday, so I'm sure they'll be out in full force.
Are they all dressed like Mike Ditka, just going around with their little sweater vests and mustaches?
Stash, the shades and the hat, just
trying to relive the glory days. You know,
he was something else. There's no question about it. He was a tough sumbitch too. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I used to hear that all the time from some of those players for that team, and I guess you either followed the letter of the law or you could get the hell out. He's one of those kind of guys.
He was no nonsense. He did not get along with Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh was his quarterback.
Right, yeah.
And there was a moment, I think it was like maybe the 1991 or 92 seasons, and Harbaugh went against Mike Ditka's wishes on a certain play and threw an interception, like a game-crushing interception. Vikings, turned the game around, and they got into a screaming match on the sidelines at the Metrodome. It's a great clip floating out there somewhere on the internet.
I love that kind of stuff, actually, to tell you the truth. Although, Ditka, I will criticize him, even though they got the touchdown. You didn't let Walter Payton cross the goal line? Are you out of your mind?
Oversight. Pretty big oversight there.
Got to be Refrigerator Perry so it looks kooky. I mean, come on, man. Walter Payton may be the greatest running back of all time. Certainly one of them.
Hey, we had another fat guy touchdown yet. The Lions scored a fat guy touchdown.
A fat guy touchdown.
Dan Skipper, their backup tackle, came in. He caught a touchdown pass. And it's funny because he catches the pass and it's nothing but daylight for 5 yards remaining. But it takes him so long to turn around and get the semi-truck going. 3 defenders are on him at the goal line, but he dragged him in for a touchdown.
See, that's pretty cool. So this guy, what 3.5? Somewhere in there, 350 pounds.
Yeah, a lean 350 pounds.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was the guy that, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? So he's like their backup swing tackle, and they'll bring him in as an extra offensive lineman. They'll throw passes to him. And he had to start a couple games because the left tackle was injured. And so Dan Campbell, the Lions coach, like a week ago, is doing his post-game game-winning speech. You men, this is what championship cultures are made out of. And he's about to give game balls out. He looks over and he sees Dan Skipper hugging the garbage can, hurling his guts out. And there's a camera. And he turns around and goes, Skip, you keep hurling your guts out, whatever you're doing over there. We got... that's football right there. When
yeah, there you go.
300-pounders are just puking their guts out after leaving it all on the field.
I was thinking about, as you're talking about all these other Hunyucks and all the rest of it, and some are great players, some are not. I was just thinking of how lucky that I've been to be around the business and having met people like, Chuck Foreman and Scott Studwell. And there's a long list of great players that I got to meet. Just really, Brad was one of the nicest guys you'd ever want to meet. Quarterback. I mean, he just...
Brad Johnson, yeah.
Brad Johnson, just a great guy. Won a Super Bowl down in Tampa, did he not?
Yep.
But, I mean, you look at the guys that have been on this team, the Dave Huffmans of the world, lost him, unfortunately, on a trip to Notre Dame to watch football, got in a car accident and died. But, I mean, we've had a lot of really good, solid people that played for the Vikings. And
then we've had some miserable kickers who've ruined it for all of them.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Miserable coaches, too. We've had some miserable coaches. There's no question about that.
I know your thoughts on Bud Grant. Brad Childress was kind of although I always got along well with Chili. He just didn't have much of a personality. He had a mustache and no personality. Oh.
How about the car parker? Still my favorite story of all time.
The car parker.
He pulls in. I'm at the same restaurant, just happened to be there that night. And I'm getting my car at the same time that he's getting his car. What was his name again?
Brad Childress.
Brad Childress. There you go. He comes out and he goes, I got a problem. And the car parker goes, what's the problem? He goes, well, I'm sorry, but I might not be able to tip you because all I've got are 20s. And the guy goes, everyone, anybody, can you help out? Coach Childress needs to break a 20 so he can leave me a tip.
Oh, my gosh. Dude's making $3 million a year.
$3 million a year. Can't afford $20
you
for
break
a car
a 20.
God, what a dope. You might want to put a best foot forward.
Break 20 there.
Oh, well, what are you going to do?
So, hey, Vikings tonight. I just jinxed all of it based on this discussion. But if they can do what they should do, which is beat the Bears at home, then they will be in control of their destiny. Men.
Can we get your official, unofficial score prediction?
My probably leaning a certain way, reserve the right to change it. I think it's a blowout. I think I'll say 31-10 Vikings.
Ooh.
Yep.
I like that.
We'll see, though.
You know, if it's 31-10, when it's like 27-10, I can go to bed then.
Yeah, you're probably safe at that point.
Yeah.
All right,
17-point lead. Yeah.
As soon as JJ scores on that opening drive, you're good to go to bed.
Problem I've always had in my life since for 40 years, I got up at 3:30 in the morning, right, to go to work. To this day, if I stay up late, I wake up even earlier.
Oh,
I hate that. Oh, I stayed up till 11, so I woke up at 1:30. I was like, oh, God.
just a quick little nap.
Oh, it's terrible. All right, Palomino, we will talk to you later in the week, and then we will know just going into Christmas if our Minnesota Vikings are in first place.
You darn right. All right, guys. Enjoy Monday Night Football. See ya.
You got it, sir. Talk to you later. We shall take a break. Be right back in a couple of minutes. Some news on Yuck's going to be on next. You know what I'm saying? MyPillow, glad to announce that their Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them all you can. The famous My Slippers that haven't been on sale for over a year, regular price of $119.98, are now only $59.98. The six-pack towel sets back in stock, extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. From bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. Go to MyPillow.com, call 800-516-5146, and be sure to use promo code TOM to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or the six-pack towel sets, just $29.98, but that's not all. They're extending their 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st, 2025, plus all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. Go to MyPillow.com or call 800-516-5146 today and use promo code TOM.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain, and chip issues all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? Inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings, or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Sometimes the anxiety for wondering if you've saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? My guy, Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, can sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk. Never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608. Set up your free 48-minute no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments must involve risk. You know that. All comments and opinions of Josh Arnold do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
We are, but aren't you looking youthful? What's that all about? Would you get a haircut?
Yeah, last week. I had it last week.
Look at that. He looks all youthful now. He's got that, I've got the 6th grade hair.
I hope not 6th grade. I from my sources, aka Chris's Twitter account, he might be drinking on the job here this morning. Allegedly.
I did get a case of beer. There was a case of beer at my desk this morning, which I ain't mad about.
Looked like there was one missing, at least.
Well, he's not even responding. No. Oh, hello. Who is
No, I don't. I would listen. I can barely do the job sober, let alone having had alcohol. I can assure you that right now.
So, are you at least? Oh, I was going to say you probably. Hopefully, you're drinking a beer I used to endorse, but I pretty much endorse every one of them. So,
well, that's kind of the method. That's the mode you were in back then, right?
Well, I got to be honest with you. My voice is perfect for selling beer. It's got that gruffness to it. So, like beer drinkers, like, go out and get a case of Grain Belt right now. Damn it.
Was Grain Belt your thing?
Oh, it was Ham's, Grain Belt. I did all the Miller brands. I did. God, I did. What's the one that's really big in Chicago?
Old Style.
Old Style. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I must have done, I bet you 20 different beer brands because I have a really good beer voice, I guess.
God, that's a freaking life goal, man. If I could tap into that, that would be.
What, doing voiceover?
Being a beer.
Because you did get free beer because they did send you a case of beer.
I'm saying, professional beer endorser, just throwing it out there.
Oh yeah, every commercial with Chris just like drink Hams.
What did you say? Boy, I will tell you though, there were a couple of bars down there in Chicago, and all the voiceover guys would get together, men and women, get together after the day and talk about, because that used to be. Now it is just a nothing business. It's not lucrative at all anymore. They took, it's like everything else. They took all the money away from doing it. Now, let's say back in the day, you'd do a beer commercial and you'd make $30,000 from doing the beer commercial. Nowadays, you endorse a beer, you probably would get a couple $100.
Jeez, yeah,
it destroyed the business.
Well, it's the damn social media, Tom. It's taken that stream and it's diluted it so much that it was like Tom, voiceover was like a fine stout. Back in the day, it was bold and delicious, and just drinking one could get you where you needed to be. Now it's as if that bold stout has had a whole gallon of water poured into it.
Yeah, yep.
And it's just a not even a shell of what it used to be, and you've got to drink many, many, many of those in order to get the payoff that you did with that one pint. Are you liking my analogy, Tevin? No,
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I think it's a great analogy. I don't think there's any question about that.
What do you guys think about these drones?
Why don't we just let them do what they're going to do? They're pretending they don't know where they're from or what they are. Look, if you're letting things float over our cities and you don't know where they're from or who they are, then you need to get the hell out of office.
They were shooting down balloons.
Yes. Yep.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
They were shooting down balloons, so they say. Now, that's when you're going to go deep down into the rabbit hole on that, because that one of the things was identified as a balloon, but a couple of the other things, it was never identified what it was.
Right.
And there's some stuff floating around out there that it was something they couldn't identify, and so. One can go way down the rabbit hole on this particular thing, but I just think it's insane that the government spokespeople are going to sit there in front of the cameras and go, it's manned aircraft, it's not that big a deal, or we don't know what it is, or their big spin this weekend was there are 1 million different people with drone certifications in the United States. Okay, we'll start checking them then.
Yeah. Yep.
That's not a good excuse. How many people live in the United States? And well, maybe that's not a great example of things that we can keep track of either. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a BS. That's when people start to lose their minds and start going down these roads with conspiracy theory, when nobody can give a straight answer. And if they really don't know what they are, then freaking say that. And then go catch one of the things. It can't be that freaking hard, can it?
Right. I feel like we scramble like F-18s at a moment's notice. Like we don't have somebody go throw a net over one of these drones and bring it in.
It's interesting. And then, boy, some of these, like, I won't want to say fringe, but some of my, I'll say fringe. Some of the theories that it's actually the government putting them out there, testing our response to see how we'll deal with it. And then this is just the first of the drone armies that are going to be flying over us.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is true until somebody tells us what the hell it is.
I understand exactly what you're saying. It's unbelievable that we don't know. You know exactly where they're from, and you know who's flying them, and you know everything. Why you want to keep the people on pins and needles? I don't understand.
I mean, I get that you can't shoot down something that's the size of a car, which is what some of them. You can't shoot that down over a highly populated area, right? Okay. Well, there's got to be some places you could shoot that down. And if they're going out to the water, then I suppose, well, we can't shoot it down over the water because we won't be able to recover it. I guess.
We have images of the Titanic at the depths of the ocean.
Fair point, Kevin. A good point. I don't know. This is where people get really frustrated with with any leader. I'm not even saying this isn't like everyone's kind of frustrated right now with the government or whoever's in charge, but it's no different than a boss straight up looking at you and lying to you, or a spouse, or it just seems like it's just like, oh, there's nothing to see here.
Yeah, and I hate that you can't, I feel like, go out and have there's conspiracies that you say and you're like, okay, that guy is a little lost in the head. But I mean, I think it's fair to go out and have a decent conversation about what are they doing with these drones? Like, what's actually happening? I don't know if the drone army thing is necessarily in the realm of like Rationalville, but
I said fringe,
but it's just like security stuff. It's it's facial mapping stuff. I'm sure there's technology that we aren't aware of that the government fully has like in their arsenal. I just don't lie.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
We can see the drones.
Yes. Yeah, we see them.
Right. That's the biggest thing. Like, I don't know how many nights in a row. There's lots of people have video of them now. So I don't know. Crazy.
You know what I love? I've noticed this every day now. When Chris comes on, Jude sits looking through the window. Well, Chris Eggert's going to be on, so I better find out what the news is.
I know.
Look at Judy. Jude, you pill.
It's probably because I smell like meat.
That's a possibility, I suppose.
Got the meat sweats going on.
Got the meat sweats.
Great about. So Catherine is laying down on one side of the couch. I'm sitting on the other side, and Jude is asleep between us. Mm-hmm. And I just went, to pet him, make sure he was okay. I touch him, and he goes. It's like, oh, pardon me.
I'm lying next to Mama right now. You better just back off.
That's exactly what it was, too.
I know.
Mama's my buddy. Get away from me.
Listen, that's the way it works, right?
Unbelievable. Do you have 30 more seconds, or you have to go?
I'm good for 30 seconds.
Okay. The perfect jobs for people who hate people. Would you think that being a news anchor is one of them? I'm just asking a question. I'm not saying it is.
No.
Okay, your top 10 best jobs for people who hate people as a welder. Yeah, nobody's coming near you if you're a welder. Right. Nobody's coming near you. Number 9, some areas of horticulture like plant production and being an arborist. Well, you're all by yourself. That's why there. Yep. Radiologist, you're by yourself. Commercial truck driver, you're by yourself. A baker, you're probably by yourself. The only con is you have to wake up early on that job. The top 5 are night shift security guard at a museum. I always wanted to do that. Because when you can do break in and steal a pot.
Yeah, I agree. You could just chill, look at your phone, sleep.
It's true. Number 4, any job that allows you to wear earphones. You mean headphones? They're not called headphones anymore. They're just earphones now. The plug-in ones are earphones. The other ones, like the ones we got on our headphones.
Yeah, there's probably talking about something where you can sit and listen to music the whole time. Yeah.
Probably. Ooh, I'm going to leave number 3 because that's the job that I want. I want to get this job the second I possibly can. Number 2 is some kinds of doctors, like a pathologist and a morgue doctor. Yeah, they're all alone there.
Best movie, one of the best movies, Night Shift. Great movie.
It is. It is a really good movie. Power plant operator, most of it is sitting in a room with a control panel that auto-fixes itself 99% of the time, so you don't have to do anything. That's great. But the number 1 job that I would take if I wanted to get away from people, lighthouse keeper.
Oh, yeah.
There's a great job. You sit up there, although I would screw around with the light. I like hold my hand up so there'd be a handprint up in the sky.
Oh, for sure.
Doing shadow puppets on
like,
the lighthouse.
Look like a dog.
Oh, wait a minute. What was that when you just did
nothing,
there?
Nothing.
That's what happens with morning beers.
All right, you guys. I would love that job, Tommy. Sign me up if you can find us a lighthouse.
What, doing sexual things with your hands? Is that what you're
the
doing?
lighthouse keeper job. I would keep it professional, obviously.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I like the hairstyle, though. It's looking good.
Yeah, I cut it last week. I don't know why. I got a couple emails about it today. I'm like, what? Were you guys last week? That's fine. Who cares? Nobody cares.
We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you.
Guys, bye.
I love one thing about Eggert. He always goes out complaining. I love that about him. Ladies and gentlemen, Channel 5's Chris Eggert is brought to you by Mr. Money Talk Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation, 952-925-5608. We shall take a break, be right back, and I-Tie with us right after this.
I'm talking with my friends Michael Bilski and Brad Huckle of North American Banking Company. Guys, business owners have had to deal with a lot over the last few years, haven't they?
They sure have, Tommy. We pride ourselves on being able to help our customers with the challenges they face.
Our business bankers are experts and are always ready to help our customers capitalize on opportunities and solve problems.
Loan decisions come quickly because they're made here in the Twin Cities and not shipped out of state like at some of the national banks in town.
This allows our customers to expand their businesses with confidence, knowing that they have our team of experts in their corner.
Okay, so now you give me this big thing at the end. Way to go.
Well, you are the professional.
Oh, I forgot. Look, I know Brad and Mike, and I trust them with my banking. They've personally delivered on everything they've just said, so why not bank with my banker? North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
You know, one thing I really like is when I get up, run down the hall, I get calls from people. Hey, I saw Jude on the show. How's he doing? It's like, settle down. There's Judy, but right by the door. Well, he's not peering in, though. He doesn't know that Bob's on yet. He has to hear Bob talk, and then he'll peer in.
Hey, Jude.
Judy.
Judy.
He's not moving.
No, not at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Sansevere Sports brought to you by Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury lawyers seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw & Bryant at minnesotapersonalinjury.com. That's minnesotapersonalinjury.com. Bob Sansevere, what is happening, Pally?
Well, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
What will happen first? The Vikings will win the Super Bowl, or drones will eradicate the East Coast?
Bob, we don't know whose drones those are. We just have no idea.
Here's
what a joke.
One of these government officials actually said What do you want to believe? Your eyes, or me? Saying they're like planes. Come on. You know what?
They're planes? No.
Okay, here's the problem, Tom. And I'm not going to get political except to say this. Anyone who has thought that Joe Biden has been a good president, how could he not get in front of the American people and explain what the drones are? And also, but he's too busy giving a record number of pardons and clemency to people. And some cynics think that the drones are just to distract people from all the clemency and pardons.
Wouldn't doubt it.
But it's outrageous. Amy Klobuchar was on Meet the Press or one of these shows yesterday saying, well, I don't know what they are. We should know. She's supposed to be one of the most powerful senators in our country, and she doesn't know. How is this possible? There's a naval station in Jersey, in Colts Neck, New Jersey. They have no idea what it is. Law enforcement has no idea. And the point you made a great point, Devin. Okay, shoot them down. They can find the Titanic. Yes. And the other thing about the drones, when they're coming off the ocean, shoot them down.
Yeah. And I understand, like, okay, the first, like, one or two, we didn't know that there were drones coming. So everybody was like, what the hell is going on? But once you get to, like, 20, 21, like, all right, guys, there should be a special task force to figure out what the hell is going on.
13 of them followed a Coast Guard ship. And there were 50 that came in at once at one point. Come on.
I know. I just the fact that they want to say, "Oh, we don't know what they are." You lie through your teeth.
If you don't know what they are, you need to immediately leave office because you get out of the way. Because you are hurting this country. What if they are from Iranian drones or Russian drones or Chinese drones that could drop something nuclear or something that could really kill thousands upon thousands of people? You cannot let these things get over our people.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's no excuse for this. And like I said, we don't know. You lie.
Okay, let's let a Chinese weather balloon float across our entire country.
Yeah.
Who are these people?
It's all about money, Bob. Everything is literally all about money. It's how much dough. First of all, you just mentioned Nancy Pelosi. Where the hell did she get $250 million in net worth? Jesus.
Well, there's no rules to prevent her from insider trading. There's supposed to be, but there aren't.
Yeah, you're right. And it is all insider trading, isn't it? She made money you and I could never have made because she was an insider.
Well, she knows everything that's happening and going on. What was her surgery, by the way? I hope she's okay, but how seriously sick is she in Europe?
Oh, I thought that she had her husband extracted from her
Oh, that
life.
could be. That might be it.
I still love the fact he's got his buddy over there. They're playing hide the banana. All of a sudden, she shows up and, I don't know who he is. Yeah, okay. Right.
She had a successful hip replacement surgery after she fell down the stairs in Luxembourg.
That's what it was.
Yep. She fell down the stairs?
Yes. Looks like, I don't know what she was doing, but it says she fell down some stairs.
Isn't she like $110? I mean, in age?
Okay. A hip surgery at that age is not, that's a rough one.
Yeah, she's 84, and she fell following a group photo with other lawmakers and officials during a trip to the Luxembourg Battle of the Bulge locations or something.
Okay, this is horrible. But when she fell, did she spill her drink? I'm sorry.
She's Italian, Bob.
Now,
what
right?
do you think? She's Italian.
No, I don't know. She didn't.
No. Well, I will say this: in the photo that I'm seeing, she appears to be the only one without a drink in her hand. So,
well, she just fallen, so of course she was. Come on.
Well, yeah, Tevin, is the picture mid-fall? Is that why?
It's in the air. Yeah.
I don't want. It's horrible to be making fun of an 84-year-old who had something like that happen, but it doesn't sound like her life is imperiled, so I don't feel as bad.
I just love the fact that what was that airplane she used to fly from San Francisco to Washington, D.C.? It wasn't like a gigantic jet.
Yeah, she had her access to her own jet. God. And remember when she was when Trump was president, she showed up with an entourage to go to Europe, and he refused to let the plane leave the ground. She's pulling probably her Louis Vuitton bag on the tarmac.
He can be a massive pain in the ass, can't he? When he wants to be. God, he can be a pain in the ass.
So,
but
but
they're
anyway,
all like that.
Hey, happy days, huh? How about your Vikings? It's
What do you think,
all in
Bob?
front of them. Just win, and they have NFC North, home field throughout, and it's they gotta beat them in succession: the Bears, the Seahawks, the Packers, and the Lions in Detroit. Not the easiest road. It was made easier by the injury to Geno Smith. We don't know how bad that is, but he has to come back and play next weekend. So if he doesn't play, Sam Howell is abysmal. He's a turnover / sack machine. He has no awareness, and he throws the ball more to the other team than to his own players, it appears.
So what do you think, Bob? I mean, they're going to beat the Bears big, I would think, tonight.
They'd better. But I mean, historically, and AJ and Tevin are young. They haven't been through all of the pain that many Viking fans have. Just when it looks like, hey, we're 15-1, we're home in the NFC Championship game. Our kickers never miss all year. And what happened? And something always happens. And 2 years ago, what happened? Oh, what a great team! They go in the first round and lose to the Giants.
Yep.
But not this year. Not this year.
This is the year,
baby.
Team of destiny.
Yeah, team of destiny. I'll tell you what. Kevin O'Connell, who, by the way, he was a coach. He was the offensive coordinator for the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to watch the Rams and to see how they get the ball to Nacua. They find ways to get it to him. They throw it to him in the flat. They get it to him behind the line of scrimmage if they have to, just to have him make something happen. They cannot. His stats were really good. 2 touchdowns. When you look at the overall stats, they were great. They should have been greater because he didn't touch the ball again until like the second quarter. I'm talking about Justin Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that everything's going great with the other receiver. He's been terrific. But come on. Get the ball to Jefferson early. And not just because I have him in my guillotine league.
Not just because of that.
No, because he is maybe the most dynamic receiver in the game. And the things he can do when he gets his hands on the ball. So get him the frickin' ball.
Yeah. Well, and I wonder, too, because you hear stories of coaches where, like, okay, yeah, we can force feed Justin Jefferson, but let's maybe as the stretch run comes down, showcase that we have Addison Hawkinson, so people now have to game plan for the whole field. And then now in the playoffs, we go back to force feed.
I got news. They're already game planning for Jordan Addison. And Hawkinson really has not stepped up the way he did last year. I think he's still knocking rust off, but he will be a big part. And Aaron Jones will. I mean, he and Jefferson are the key to whatever success this team's has in the postseason.
Right.
And that's the other thing, by the way. Aaron Jones should be catching 6 to 10 passes a game.
Just got to hold on to that ball.
That the guys are getting really good at punching that ball out. So. And did any of you watch the end of did you all watch the end of the Lions and a game against Buffalo?
I did not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The scrum at the end when they tried the onside kick, somebody's going to die at the bottom of those piles because they're like 6-7 bodies deep and they're not little guys who are piling on. And what must happen at the bottom of that thing, fighting and scratching and clawing to get that ball?
And that ball must change like hands 7 or 8 times before they finally get people off of them.
Well, they showed us the replay. The ball was sitting there and nobody had it. I don't know how the original guy wound up getting it again. And I actually thought this is how much respect you have to have for the Lions. When there was like 50 to 30 seconds left, I still thought the Lions might pull it out.
Mm-hmm.
They hadn't gotten a touchdown yet. They'll get a touchdown, get the onside kick, and they'll find another way to do it. And that's against one of the best teams in football. And just one other aside, I've been saying this for the last few weeks. You cannot convince me Josh Allen is not the MVP of the league. He's carried that team. My God, that guy is good. No receivers to start the year, and look what he's done. And
all right, Bob.
We'll
talk to you later on in a week.
Later on in the week, yeah, Friday. Can't wait. Can't wait.
Later on in the week. That's what I said.
I thought you said later on in a week or something. I don't know, whatever. My hearing's going.
How about this? Get off my show.
Okay, gone. See you guys. Bye.
Bob Sansevere Sports brought to you by Bradshaw and Bryant Personal Injury Lawyers, seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw and Bryant at Minnesota Personal Injury. You want to go right to the guests? You want to take a
Yeah,
break?
let's bring on Zibby right now.
I think we should,
like
because you had to put up with listening to Bob talk for 2 minutes.
I agree. What a punishment.
Zibby, are you in pain now, just having to hear some Italian from New Jersey go on and on and on?
Oh my God! Listen, I kind of loved it. Josh Allen, MVP of the league, right? Am I right? But also, just the way you told him to get off your show, I absolutely loved it. But please don't speak to me like that at the end of our.
Bob has a special relationship with the show. You will not be getting that treatment.
Oh, it was stunning. I loved it.
He's unbelievable. Zibby Allen, our very special guest, currently stars as Brie Sheridan in Netflix Virgin River, which returns for its 6th season, December 19th, which is just, 3 days away? Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's hear about it, Zibby. By the way, I love the picture that they sent over of you because, I mean, you're a very attractive woman, but you got this look in your eye like, don't mess with me.
What? I don't even know what picture they sent you. What is it? What am I wearing?
It's kind of like a green floral shirt.
What?
It's probably an old.
She goes, what?
That was 2 decades ago. No.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I don't know. But great.
No.
I'm glad I'm giving you some sort of cool look. Yeah.
Well, Zibby, let me put it this way. You've never met my wife, but she gives me that same look, and you're scaring me by just staring at the page. I'm frightened.
Great. That's a special touch we ladies have. You know what I mean?
I don't think there's any question about it. So, it all works out. How cool is it to be in the 6th season of Virgin River? That's tremendous news, don't you think?
Yeah, it's great. And they just picked us up for 7, which means we are now apparently the longest running show on Netflix, which feels like a feat unto itself. Netflix is pretty fickle. They'll run a show for 2-3 seasons max, and then it's gone. So it feels like a real privilege to be on a show that's going that well. And people love it, man. Like I'm in Scotland right now. I live part-time in Scotland, and it always shocks me that people here are even just absolute fans of the show. It's a globally loved show. It's wild.
All right, so I have to ask you, where are you in Scotland?
I'm in Edinburgh, Scotland. Do you know it?
I love Edinburgh, Scotland. I love Scotland. I've been there many, many times. God, it's fun. Love it.
Get on over here. I know, it's the best city. I love this city so much. It's where we live when we're here, and can never get enough.
Now,
Especially
do you play golf?
You know what? I love myself some golf. Now, my grandmother was like an incredible golfer. She lived on a golf course. She was one of the best. We're right off Bruntsfield Links, which is, I shouldn't give that away, but whatever, here we are. And I think it was the original, you know what I mean? Like, I'm getting people waving in the window, but yeah. But it's the first golf course in Edinburgh, this part of Scotland. And so, yeah, we're out there just doing a little bit of golf. But no, when the time comes, I'm going to dedicate a serious several years to just golfing every day because I do love it. Do you golf? Are you a golfer?
Well, I didn't for about 7 years. I golfed for a long time, and I haven't for the past 5, 6, 7 years. But now things are settling in, so I just started again. And the one problem how tall are you, Zibby?
Oh, my God. I'm 5'3", okay? But I feel like I'm 6 foot. So it's a weird thing.
No, the reason I asked you because I assumed you were a lot taller than that because my wife is like 5'11", and she's very long and lean, and she can beat me at every round of golf, which, as the guy, that's not supposed to happen, but it just shows you how humble I am, Zibby.
That you just aired that on, well, good for her. I mean, listen, I might be short, but my drive is mighty. So I'm proud.
Zibby, it's a good thing you and I don't hang out. You and I'd cause a lot of trouble at bars. I guarantee it.
I guarantee it.
There's no question
especially
about
in pubs out here in Scotland. Are you a whiskey drinker?
No, I'm not a drinker at all anymore because it was suggested by that same 5'11" woman. You know what you should do? You should stop drinking. I said, yes, dear.
Good for you. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what the hell. You know, I can get a little owly. I know it's hard to believe. Would you ever?
I see it.
Oh, you do? Okay, well, I'm glad to hear that. I just love the fact that it says right here, you've been picked up for a 7th season. this time. I think, to tell you the truth, and not just because you're on Netflix, but don't you think Netflix does have a leg up on all the other places as far as programming is concerned? Netflix programming is really good.
Yeah, they've got it on lock. I mean, they're doing something right for sure. They seem to be really like leading the pack right now. So you never know. Everyone's sort of always innovating the next thing, and streamers are doing something interesting. I don't know what it's going to become, but no, Netflix is killing it, man.
I will close with this, Zibby, because it's the absolute truth, and you know it to be the absolute truth. If you go into a golf shop at a golf course in America, there will be about 55 sets of golf clubs. There'll be racks and racks and racks of, this, that, and the other thing. There's all the stuff that you can buy. But one thing I just love about Scotland is you walk in some of the greatest golf courses in the world, and they have one sleeve of golf balls. I think that's hilarious. It's like, we're not selling equipment here. Just go buy your equipment somewhere else. You play our golf course. I love that about that place. I honestly got like one sleeve of 3 balls is what they had in the shop.
That's
Love
all
it.
you get.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Zibby, you got to come. Are you going on tour ever? Coming to America?
Oh yeah, I'm in America all the time. I live part time in Georgia. We're touring all the time.
Where in Georgia do you live? I mean, I don't know the exact address, but just
Let me give 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I'm just outside of Atlanta, actually.
Oh, I love it, Atlanta. God, is Atlanta getting big enough? By the way, Zibby, we drive through there.
Oh my God, I know.
My wife and I drive from Minneapolis down to West Palm Beach every year, and we go through Atlanta, and you better go through at the right time now, because there's going to be a little bit of traffic if you go at the wrong time. I'm telling you.
Yeah, this is why I live outside. I'm in like the rural part, so I'm like, close enough to get to the airport in 30 minutes, but far away from all that, and I can get into the city when I want to. But yeah, I can't do the traffic, man. I did LA for so many years, like I'm done with the traffic. But Atlanta's an amazing city for food and culture and all that. So.
Oh God, yes, really, really good.
Yeah.
All right, so the next time I drive through, which will be I think late May or early June, I'm going to find out if you're in town. I'm going to lay on the horn while I'm driving right down the freeway, so just to annoy you.
That, or we'll go hit some golf balls.
Why, you going to embarrass me like my wife does? Is that what you want to do?
That's my aim. Although I think it's going to embarrass us both. So.
Zibby, please come back. I love talking to strong women. Strong women are my life. My mother, my sisters, my wife, my daughter, and now you too.
Oh, I love it. You're surrounded. Well,
I
it
am
was great
surrounded.
to talk to you, and I hope you guys have a great holiday.
You too, Zibby. Thank you very much. Zibby Allen, ladies and gentlemen, currently stars as Brie Sheridan in Netflix Virgin River, returns for its 6th season, December 19th. Already been picked up for a 7th season. How cool is that? We'll take a break. Be right back in a couple of minutes, right after this.
Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Sometimes the anxiety for wondering if you've saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? My guy, Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, can sit down with you to get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk. Never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608. Set up your free 48-minute no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments must involve risk. You know that. All comments and opinions of Josh Arnold do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? Inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings, or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
I hosted my show on the radio for 40 years. Now I host the Tom Barnard Podcast, and I'll tell you, I've never seen the passion and engagement from our audience as I do now. I know we also have businesses that listen to our podcast, and it got me thinking, wouldn't it be great to help those businesses grow by telling my listeners about them? So here's the deal. If you own or handle marketing for a business, would like to have my audience buy your product or service, visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and we'll put together an ad campaign to help your business. That's TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and thank you for listening.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
It certainly is, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of news, a little bit of information. Great guy. Kristyn, you came on a few minutes early, like 7 minutes early, which is supposed to be the time you're supposed to come on, but we're always 7 minutes late.
I always log on right around 7:10 my time and just wait it out.
You wait it out. Because we got one more break to take, but we could take that at the bottom, do we not? Or do we
are
not?
you running late? I mashed them together, so we're
Oh,
actually
you did? Okay, good. Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just
magnificent.
sit here with my laptop and I write articles while you guys, not knowing whether you guys are running late or running early. So I'm always prepared.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kristyn Burtt, Entertainment News, brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. All right, full reveal. I hate doing this, but I got to do it. Catherine and I went to dinner the other night in West Palm, and for basically an hour and a half, got to hear about how wonderful Kristyn Burtt is.
That's annoying,
Jesus.
isn't it?
Oh, I'm like, come on.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
Take-
sorry.
Take your foot off the gas. No, you got some big fans. I'll tell you that. You have some big fans out there.
Thank you to whomever was nice, had said kind words about me.
I'm never telling you who it is. Forget it.
You're not going to tell me?
I don't think you know him anyway, so that's all. It all works out in the end. We were just talking to Zibby about she's working on a Netflix show. Do you think Netflix probably has the strongest programming of any one of those offers?
I think it has the most mainstream because
there you
we
go.
already had a relationship with Netflix. Most of us did. We had those DVDs that we used to send back in the red envelopes. If you're old enough to remember that.
Yep.
I loved it, honestly. When I was traveling a lot for work, I would make sure I had a couple of DVDs arrive right before I left. And then I would watch them while I was on the road. I would mail them from the city I was in so that when I got home, another set of DVDs were waiting for me.
Oh.
It was a genius business model, to be honest.
It
It was back
was.
in the day when our laptops actually had DVD drives, if you remember that too.
Mhm.
But when they started shifting to streaming, we were all like, this is crazy. What kind of concept is this? But they had already trained us to have Netflix, at least as a service in our household. And I think that they do the most mainstream programming altogether because they're moving into live events. They've got comedy. They have the sappy rom-com that we all love. They've got the Christmas movies. They've got the action movies. And because they've used an unlimited budget, they've also drawn major talent to the table.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was about to turn around, but I was just saying, even like with the way they add content and remove content, they do a great job of like, hey, you have to watch this old movie that's going away forever, the old show that's going away forever to really draw you in and make sure you keep your subscription. So yeah, they've really nailed it, I think, on all fronts.
And also international too. I was just thinking about Squid Games and things like that. They've brought a lot of Korean dramas and that we wouldn't normally see, Canadian dramas that we wouldn't, UK, all of that to American audiences who have been very trained to only watch American shows. And I think that's another really great thing for all of us.
Yeah, probably is true. Did you get a chance to listen to Zibby Allen at all when she was on?
I didn't. I only heard like literally the last two sentences.
Have you ever worked with her at all?
I have not.
Very, very pleasant. Zibby Allen from Virgin River. She's one of those Catherine women, very attractive, but got an edge to him. Like, don't mess with me. I love women like that.
Virgin River is a huge property for
It is,
Netflix too. It just continues on and on. It kind of falls in that, I would say, Hallmark kind of territory where it finds a very loyal audience. Also, Outlander would be another one that sort of has that same type of passionate audience. Virgin River, same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, she was such a great guest. Very, very pleasant person to have on. We're messing with. She's in Scotland right now, though, of course. So, she's really hard at work.
Is she there for vacation?
I think she lives there in the winter.
Yeah, I believe she met her husband there, and I don't know if he's from there, but yeah, they split their time between there, Canada, and Georgia.
Nice.
It's a wonderful spot. You guys ever been to Scotland?
Nope.
No.
You gotta go. You gotta go. I'm telling you.
My people.
Yeah, your people.
They are my people. I
my
mean,
people.
Bert is Scottish.
Barnard is a Scottish name too.
Yep.
Bernard, the B-E-R is the English one. Barnard is the Scottish one. So there you go. There's a Barnard Castle in Scotland. Did you know that?
Oh.
It's got nothing to do with my family. I can guarantee you that.
I know. I was like, do you get an inheritance off that?
No, I get the zippity-doo-dah off of that. But yeah, if you've never been, particularly, since you're part Scot, it's phenomenal. It's a great place.
French, it's so funny because my family is from Quebec. And so I haven't been to Quebec, and then the other half of my family is from Scotland, and I haven't been to Scotland. So I've got to make a priority for both of them.
Pretty good spots to be hitting, I'll tell you that.
I know. I actually like Montreal and Quebec. That area I'm dying to go, to be honest.
Do Canadians even talk to us anymore now? Because basically Donald Trump called Canada the 51st state of America. It's like, why do you do those things?
What to cut the lights out?
Someone just called Trudeau in an interview. It was a joke, but they called him the governor of Canada.
He did. Yes, they did. Because that's what Trump was doing.
I know.
Like, what are you doing? Would you stop with that?
While I'm thinking about this, tomorrow when you have Josh Arnold on, will you ask him about Donald Trump and their possibility of getting rid of the FDIC?
Huh.
So what's the upside of that? Why would they do
There
that?
is no upside for consumers.
I was going to say.
Well, I think a lot of people are thinking that Elon Musk wants everyone to start investing in crypto and making like crypto our main currency, which would be his Doge cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and all that. So I would love.
He has a dog in the fight in that one.
He does.
I guess pun intended. But
lot of conflict of interest there, but if you can ask Josh Arnold about that, I think that would be really interesting because that's been a hot topic all weekend long about his. They're at least inquiring if they can get rid of the FDIC, which remember protects all you and I.
Yes,
that those investments of up to $250,000, and it could also cause a run on the banks. So we don't want that.
Why would they do that?
Because power probably benefit more than the people like you and I.
That is correct. Because everyone he's putting into place is a billionaire. Everyone, if you take a look, they are all billionaires. This is going to make the next 4 years are going to make billionaires into trillionaires.
Well, the last 4 years and the 4 years before that and the 4 years before that, they were doing a good job on it too.
100%. It's just but taking away protections for consumers is a red flag for me.
I know.
I don't know if he can do it, but even inquiring about it, red flag.
Yep.
I'm waving it. So I would love to hear Josh Arnold's take on it. And maybe he's of course going to have greater perspective than I do. So
I don't know if he's greater than you. I mean, you're pretty centered. So, no, I agree with you. You cannot mess with the FDIC. Otherwise we're in big trouble.
Right. And I think a lot of people are starting to panic a little bit. So maybe Josh has some sensible advice or insight for us.
Do you think that some of these politicians say things like that? So I'm going to do this, and then everybody's paying attention to this, and meanwhile you do this down here, and you were never going to do the upper one. It was just to take everyone's attention away from the lower one.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's what I'm thinking.
Like, what was his first time around when he was going to build, the biggest, most beautiful wall.
Yep.
And have Mexico pay for it, and everybody was like freaking out. It's like, well, obviously that didn't happen. So
nope.
Just because he says it doesn't mean it's going to happen.
It's called Wag the Dog. If you've ever seen that really good movie, it's actually where the government makes up a war to distract from something else that's going on within the government. Probably a really good movie to watch right now. Watch again because I have a feeling it holds up.
Why are we selling the pieces of the wall? I don't understand that. You know, the Biden's selling the some of that equipment's just been sitting there. Some of the building blocks for those walls that have been just sitting there for 4 years. Apparently, we're selling those now to other people. It's like, what are we doing? Do the voters ever get a voice in any of this anymore, or is it just
Zero.
rich guys who become president?
I don't know. It's honestly a hot mess.
Disgusting. There's no. I mean, when's the last time there was a good president? I mean, let's think about it. Let's go all the way back. Are you thinking George Washington the first time around?
He wasn't that good a man. I mean, he was sleeping with his slaves, so.
He was?
Yeah.
Oh, so there's never been a good one.
No.
Isn't that sad?
I know. Should we talk entertainment?
Yeah, let's just tear up some more.
Should we do that?
So great.
Yeah, I know. It was my fault. I pivoted, but I just thought that there'd be a great
Your
question.
fault. You were
Well, I just thought it was a great question for Josh Arnold to answer.
right.
Yes.
No,
I do
well,
think.
I'll ask him.
Yes.
Tomorrow. He's on the show tomorrow.
Perfect.
All right. So what else is happening? We Catherine, I've been watching some good stuff lately, so that's good. A lot of good stuff.
I had a recommendation from one of your listeners. And just wanted to
Okay.
throw out there because we've been talking a lot about Christmas movies, and it's from Charlie Sparks, and he said if you're looking for a different type of movie, Hanukkah on the Rocks is streaming right now on Peacock, and he said he thought that you and your listeners might enjoy it, especially if you don't celebrate Christmas, or maybe you're just looking for something a little bit different. And he said he's not a fan of the Hallmark genre, but he thought this one was really good.
Although you'd have to be a booze hound if it's on the rocks.
Maybe it's at like Alcatraz or something. Maybe they're escaping. They're escaping the rock.
I wonder if they have the audio tour of that one.
Yeah, I wonder if they do. There's a possibility.
Because the audio tour is always good.
Honest to God, every friend that I went to grade school with is going, yeah, a lot of Jews on Alcatraz. No question about that.
Zero.
That'd be zero. No question about it.
Zero.
But yeah, I mean, this is the time of the year. There's so much good stuff. Catherine and I have watched pretty much every day a Christmas show or movie, and they've all been really good. I mean, if you're in the festive mood and all the rest of it, and maybe that's part of it, that you just enjoy watching it with people that you love and all the rest of it. That's a huge part of Christmas for me.
Yeah, I love watching Christmas movies. I mean, unfortunately, my Christmas started in mid-September because I had to do all of those Hallmark interviews.
Yeah.
But it's really fun to just get into the spirit of Christmas. My husband was sort of catching up on Netflix. I had already seen it, Our Little Secret, which is the Lindsay Lohan, Kristen Chenoweth one. And it's still, I think I'm like, that's one I would probably watch every single year. It's just kind of fun and it's funny and it gets you into the spirit. I like that.
Yep. It's understandable, no question about it. And thank God there is a spirit. Well, I mean, I watched The Ref, which is not exactly an uplifting Christmas movie, but it was funnier than hell.
Yeah, you have to have a dark comedy about Christmas. It can't all be a Hallmark twist to it.
Right.
It can't all be Miracle on 34th Street. But it is fun to go back and watch those. Like I like to watch White Christmas. That's another one that's really such a classic. Miracle on 34th Street.
Yep. One of my favorite lines from that movie I just mentioned is there's a knock at the door. Dennis Leary's playing this thug who breaks into these people's house, or I don't remember how the hell it went exactly, but there's a knock at the door, and he looks through the peephole, and it's Santa. And he goes, "Oh, who the hell is this now?" Which I think that's a great line. It's Santa. What do you mean, who the hell is this? It's Santa. I don't know. I love all that stuff. Hanukkah, Christmas, all of it. We had such a great time as a kid, no question about it. Not a damn dime to our names, but we had a ball. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, there's something, I mean, I think like the spirit of Christmas feels different now because we're all shopping online versus when we would like rush out and go to the mall and there were like all these parties. I feel like even parties, people have cut back on them too. So we don't have even like corporate parties. I remember like there were days, even just maybe 5-6 years ago, every night of the week you would be going to some type of event. And now you're like, okay, I have like 3, yay. It's different.
Yeah, the world has changed a lot. There's no question about that. And not all for the better.
I know. There's a new series coming the first week of January. I'm finally allowed to talk about it. Today the embargo lifted, so that's the good news.
Okay.
But I will talk about more about it when we get to the new year. But it is coming on Fox, and it's a series called Doc. It's based off of an Italian series that's been adapted to the U.S. Scott Wolf is one of the stars. He's amazing in it. But it's about a woman who is a doctor. She gets into a car accident and loses 8 years of her life.
Oh.
Yeah. And so it's about her sort of coming back from this traumatic brain injury and reliving the last 8 years and what has happened. And she loses, she's the chief of staff at this hospital. She loses the job, obviously, to her rival and like their adversarial relationship because he's trying to undermine her as she's trying to make her comeback. Really well written, really well acted. And I think it's going to be a good one for Fox coming up in the new year. And I believe it debuts January 7th, but I'll remind everyone as we come on back. I interviewed Scott Wolf, who I know from Party of Five. I think a lot of people know him from Everwood. He's done a ton of shows. I think he also did Nancy Drew. He's been acting consistently since the 90s and really good actor. Have you interviewed him before?
I don't know if I would assume that I pretty much interviewed everybody in the world, so I assume Now, what's the name of the movie?
The name of the TV series is Doc.
TV series.
Yeah.
Doc.
10 episodes, so it'll be a mid-season replacement coming on Fox, but I think a really good entry for the mid-season because a lot of the mid-season is going to be a lot of the networks are pulling from the streamers and just putting it on broadcast because we're still feeling the effects of the strikes over the last year and a half. But this is a good one.
I like it. Catherine and I watch a lot of, it's kind of the end of our day. We watch something for like an hour and a half, 2 hours every night together. And I really enjoy it. We tend to enjoy the same kinds of things. So that does help. But yeah, just to sit there and kind of relax with your family at night, watch a little TV. I love that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Squid Games over the holiday season. I know, Tevin, you're probably, I know you're mad, but are you still going to watch?
Yeah, I'll still watch it.
Okay.
What are you mad about?
Because I tried to be on the show. They said, we don't want you on the show.
Do you try to get on the show?
Oh, absolutely. Because it's like the one where they have like just regular people go and compete to try and win some money. And so there are probably millions and millions of people that submitted. But yeah, it'll be a good time.
Yeah, but you don't look like a squid at all.
I'll take that compliment.
Oh, yeah, well, that is a compliment, isn't it?
But squid is delicious.
Squid is delicious.
I
That is
love
true.
Squid. But Squid Games, yeah, I was like, I think that this is going to be really interesting to see season 2. And maybe you can get on the game show, the third season of the game show.
Yeah, we'll keep trying. We'll keep knocking on that door until they answer.
Yeah. AJ, have you ever tried to get on Survivor?
No, well, I've thought about this too. I feel like I love watching it and I love the gameplay, but I feel like I could never actually go out there and do it just because, I'm terrible at that. Like, I hate camping.
Okay, I was going to say, because I think you'd play a good social game.
That's the thing. Challenges, like, I've done this in my head where like I play out like seasons of Survivor of like, just whatever.
Right.
But the key is to play like under the radar, but just get to know a lot of people and then try to make some big move after you get to like the final 8. And then you stand out from the rest. And then you just got to try to get to the final tribal council and then pitch your story. And that's all that matters.
Now, see, I think I would be good at traders because I was like, I know as a reporter, just like how to like read a room and things like that. And I think I'd be able to be deceptive, which is what you need to do. Survivor's very similar too. Sometimes you have to do a lot of deceptive work.
And I know because you asked at the beginning of the season here, after one episode, whether or not it was worth it. This has been the best season of Survivor since they came back after COVID. I couldn't recommend it more. The finale is this Wednesday. So if you have Paramount Plus, I recommend binging it to be in on like the live stuff. This has been, there's so many good players. The personalities are terrific. The editing has been phenomenal. Every episode is like its own individual story with like twists and turns. It's been tremendous.
Okay, that's a good one because I'm always like, I pick up on random Survivor seasons. I'm going to do that over the holiday, I think. Just go and binge watch it. Perfect. And for Tom, what reality show do we think Tom would be good at?
Are you torturing me?
No, I'm curious because I feel like there's a reality show out there for everyone.
Do you know that about 10 years ago, I was offered my own TV series in Los Angeles? We were all set to go. We talked many, many times. There's going to be a TV series about, what it's like to be in radio and voiceover and all these different things. So I'd have somebody following me around and blah, 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 blah. And at the very last minute, I get a call from the producer in Los Angeles saying, "I'm sorry, Tom, but we can't do the show." And I said, "Why not?" "Well, because the owners of your radio company don't want you doing it." And I said, "What? Why would they care?" "Well, because you got to come and go and blah, 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 blah." They said, "But yeah, they will not let you do the TV show, so we can't do it."
Such a marketing mistake.
2 weeks later, they sold the company. They just did it to screw me over. Isn't that great?
And the new company was a no-go too?
They were a no-go too, yep. Isn't that just wonderful?
Such a marketing mistake. Like, I think about that. That would have been incredible.
I know.
Especially where radio, needs a spotlight.
Yeah. It's just unbelievable. Why people, explain something to me, because we only got a couple of minutes left here, but we got 4 different people with 4 different views of things. Why are people so incredibly mean now? I mean, I'm watching things that people do to other people on the national news. Why are you so mean to people? What is that all about?
I don't know. It's like, feels like it's somebody's favorite pastime, but in like this situation where the company goes, "Oh, we don't want you to do that." I feel like it's very much so a cutting your nose to spite your face type of situation where like, okay, yeah, maybe if, the powers that be were like, we don't want Tom to have his own show, but like, it makes them money as well. Like, why you guys want, like, additional revenue and attention? Like, I think we can all make this work.
It would have been a lot of fun, would have been a great time, but they had to screw it up because they always do. I mean, it's just amazing how many things like that over the years that people just have gotten, they have to stick their nose in it and they always mess it up. Oh, well.
That's why you're going to write your memoir in 2025, and then we'll do Tom Barnard, the docu-series on Netflix.
There you go, on Netflix.
MF everybody.
Oh, I just thought the MF was for me. But
no, it's for everybody.
It's for everybody, thank God.
It's like the last 30 minutes of you. It's just you pulling out like a big Christmas list of all the people and just like, this person's an MFer. This person.
I like it.
As long as I'm not on that list.
No, I don't think you'll be. You're a KB or you're not an MFer. No, whole different deal. Whole different situation. All right, any closing words, sister?
Just in terms of if you are looking for something fun and festive, tonight is Christmas at the Opry. If you're into country music, Little Big Town hosts it on NBC.
Birdie, birdie, that kind of deal.
That is exactly what it's going to sound like. Birder, birdie. I have a feeling Little Big Town will sound a little bit better than that.
A little better? Okay.
Just a little bit.
All right, we will talk to you tomorrow.
Yes, I will see you all tomorrow.
Thanks a lot. Kristyn Burtt Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Closing words, fellas.
Before we go, can we chat about the Hubbard Tom Barnard holiday auction that's going on right now?
I like it.
I don't know if you have that sheet with the...
I got it right here, as a matter of fact.
Yeah,
I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to do that.
No,
then I got so distracted.
It's still going on right now, but people are able to get a lot of really good deals. I'll pop the graphic up on the screen, but there is so much good stuff, and it ends December 19th. Bidding goes until, I believe it's 8 p.m. Tom, can you confirm that?
Yeah, that's what it says, yeah.
Beautiful.
Save up to 70% off your holiday shopping with the Tom Barnard Holiday Online Auction. Visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword auction, to register now. Bidding starts this Friday. Auction runs through, actually it started last Friday, did it not?
Yes, it started last Friday.
I wanted to make sure that I got that right. Okay. So it was last Friday it started. Runs through the 19th.
Yes.
Thousands of dollars of items will be up for bids this 1 week only. A Canadian fishing package for 4 at Fletcher Lake Lodge in Ontario, valued at $8,740. The 2024 modern buggy quad hauler 124 QH from Pleasureland, an RV, value of $7,750. A one-night stay at the Intercontinental Hotel at MSP Airport includes 1 night of self-parking, valued at $250. Remember, visit TomBernardShow.com and enter keyword auction to view items and bid. Thanks for reminding me of that, because I kind of dropped the ball on that one. I don't know why,
it's a team effort here. If anybody's to blame, it's probably Tevin, who's going to direct every YouTube page now.
Typical. That's all I have to say is typical.
I got no defense.
All right, we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. The family show up in about, 12, 15 minutes, something like that.